Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge. This is your latest Manchester United news, and this is an emergency summit for Manchester United fans because this is not about maybe, this is not about should we, this is not about could we, this is about we must get top four. No more messing about with, oh, you know, you could do it if you try hard, or, oh, can Carrick do it, or, oh, can Bruno and the lads do it? The door is wide open. Just walk the hell in. It's absolutely wide open to get top four. I don't know how. I don't know how. You know, it's like £1 million being left in your lounge. I don't know how it got there, but take it. It's absolutely there, wide open, gagging for it. We have to take this opportunity because any other season, the way we've played, it doesn't make sense. How many times have we been rubbish this season and still ignored the opportunity to take top four? But I mean, watch Liverpool tonight. They ain't going to get any better. They're not going to get any better. Like, their next 3 games are Man City, Newcastle, Man City and Sunderland away. They've just taken 1 point from Burnley at home and Bournemouth away. So look, that doesn't mean, oh, we drew to Bournemouth and we drew to Burnley. That you should be taking 6 points. What it means is there are teams out there worse than us. And we might not be that great, but you know what? I don't want to hear, oh, if we really try a little bit hard, we might do it. No. You know, we've got to take this opportunity. It's not, I don't want to hear about ifs. I want to hear about you're playing 1 game a week between now and the end of May. They've only got 3 games in April. 4 or 5 games in February, 3 games in March, and 4 games in May. It's there for the taking. This is not, you know, I don't even want to be, oh, we could do it. It's like, you bloody do it. Like, they need a kick up the arse. Just go and do it. Because the money we will get from the Champions League will be game-changing. And the opportunity, if we don't do this, will be embarrassing. Like, Liverpool are trying to sack their manager. A lot of Liverpool fans want to sack their manager. Chelsea have sacked their manager. I know we've sacked our manager, but that wasn't really about anything other than Wilcox is a prat. So we have to take this opportunity. We have to. And the funny thing is, look, Arsenal tomorrow, I don't think we lose anyway. But even if we do lose to Arsenal tomorrow, we're still only going to be a point off Liverpool because they've played their game. The interesting thing is, obviously, Chelsea go to Palace, Newcastle at home to Villa, Fulham have moved up with their win today, and Brentford could win as well. So, but it is about Arsenal tomorrow, but then it's about Fulham at home, then it's about Spurs at home, and then it's about West Ham away. Like, these next 4 games, I feel like we have to. Oh, you know what? Stop jinxing it. I was about piss off and go and watch Anton Deck's Takeaway, you sad twat. Jog on. You bloody glazer. Get out. What are you talking about bloody jinxing it? We've got an absolute open goal for top 4 and you want to sit there and go, well, you know what? Let's just be a bit careful about that. You absolute anti-winning shite. Get some bloody ambition. I bet you're a right bloody laugh on a night out, you miserable git. Oh, the train's in an hour. I better have a glass of water. Get out, you boring knobhead. Jinx it. Mate, look at the bloody Premier League table. It's shite. It's absolute shite this year. Everybody's shit. But we who aren't going to be playing in Europe, we've got 1 game a week, we've got Carrick at the wheel, you know, this opportunity I think this is really important. It's not a question. It's not a prospect. It's not a hope. It's a bloody get it. No bloody excuses. These players have had enough chances at this football club. They've had a lot of shit as well. But this, just turn up for 90 minutes once a week and you'll be playing Champions League football next year. The club should go out and buy somebody in the next week. I'm not changing my mind about that. But even if they don't, the opportunity is so big. So big. And I'm not even talking about top 4 necessarily. I mean, if Chelsea suddenly start winning and they take 4th place, I still think Liverpool are dreadful. And it will be top 5. The coefficient at the moment, the top 2 teams in the coefficient get an extra spot. And England are in there. And we won't fall out. So 5th place is going to get Champions League football. As Gurley United says, we cannot waste this opportunity. And I haven't got any time for cowards. I haven't got any time for, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Where's your standards? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not jinx it. Let's not say too much. Mate, we're playing Arsenal, Fulham at home, Spurs at home, West Ham away. 9 points minimum is what we should be getting. Because we've got a 10-day break after that. In fact, I think we've got a 10-day break between Spurs and West Ham. So this is just every game's a cup final. Go out there, put the hard yards in and get the points. I don't even really give a shit if we win 3-0 or 1-0. Just go out there and get the bloody points on the board and get European football, because we are very, very lucky to be in this position. We're very lucky. If you think about the summer and the money that Liverpool spent, Chelsea spent, Arsenal spent, Man City spent, 5th place was going to be hard for us. It's wide open now. We have to go out and get it. And we should be able to go and get it. We've messed up so many times this season when it was an opportunity. I mean, I think we should have another 10 points. I'm sure Liverpool probably feel the same. I'm sure Chelsea feel the same. But the reality is that league table as it stands, we've got to take advantage of it, and we have to demand it. If we're weak about this, if we're cowardly, if we go, oh, wouldn't it be nice? I think the pressure needs to be put on. I think it's like, come on. I mean, how many points do you think it's going to take to get top 4 or 5 this year? I mean, 35 points from 22 games. I'm sort of thinking 63 points might get you Champions League football. So that's unheard of. That is absolutely unheard of. So look, what an opportunity. And Arsenal tomorrow, as disappointing as it would be to get beaten by Arsenal tomorrow, it's almost a free hit. I'm not saying it's excusable to lose, but what I'm saying is, even if we did, I'd still say afterwards, I mean, look, you've got to, you react to the result. You react to the result, of course you do. But even in the cold light of day of losing tomorrow, if that was to happen, I'd still look at that table and go, what an opportunity. It's such a big opportunity. And I'm not talking about necessarily 3rd or 4th, but to not get top 5 this season in the circumstances would be criminal. I said it at the time. I really, genuinely, 100% was confident that Amrin would have got top 6 anyway. We can't fumble that. We can't fumble it. We've got to get it. I mean, if you watch the Liverpool game today, by the way, they've just lost 3-2 to Bournemouth. I mean, it might be breaking news for some of you. They're not very good. Salah's fell off. Defensively, they're not very good. They don't score enough goals. We've got them at Old Trafford in May. Like, that should be another 3 points. That's another, that's important to factor in as well. Villa have got to come to Old Trafford. Liverpool have got to come to Old Trafford. So if they're anywhere near close to us, they can be 6-pointers in themselves. So it's such a good opportunity, and we have to take it. That has to be the focus of these players. Like, what an opportunity it is. Grab the opportunity. You know what Michael Carrick needs to do? He needs to find the light switch and get, like I've seen people do this before, get some really good sellotape and put the light switch on and then stick it down, glue it, whatever. Do not let them turn that light switch off, because it's absolutely inexcusable not to be in Europe next season. And I'm not going to do it, but like 6th place is Europa League. It's criminal not to be in the top 6 at the end of May. I'm almost at the point where I'm saying it's unforgivable not to be in the top 5. Nobody would have predicted Liverpool to be this bad, and they are bad. They are bad, and I don't think they're going to get any better. They are really bad. Nobody would have predicted Liverpool to be this bad. Chelsea as well, mediocre. Newcastle have fell off. It's so good. It's so good. And they've all got Europe to play as well. They've all got the whole, we're playing too many games, whereas we haven't. So, look, it's exciting. It's actually exciting, This is what happens to me when I get excited. I'm sort of like, don't fuck it up. We've got to go and do it. So let's do it. Let me get into some of your comments. Sorry, I sort of ran away with it. Like, this is I wasn't even going to do a Saturday night show tonight. So you're meant to be driving the show. The way a Saturday night show's, cheers, that's been there the whole time. Saturday night show is a show for you to just throw your comments in. It's meant to be a free hit, you know, Q&A, whatever. So get your topics in. But I just felt I had to, I felt I had to say that. I think it's probably a lot of what United fans are thinking tonight. What an opportunity. Don't mess it up. 15th in the league under Amorim, 8th in the league under Ten Hag. You get what you deserve, but this is just a golden opportunity. Like, apart from Arsenal and maybe Man City and Villa to a certain extent, apart from the top 3 at the moment, everybody else is bang average. Bang average. Got to take it. Even though we've been shit this season, we have to get top 4. Players in January would be the obvious thing to do, but our board are idiots. And I think that's a great point, United, Nick. Look, we need to put the pressure on the players to go and get this. They're good enough to do it, and it won't even take that much. Like, 63 points on a different season would probably put you in 6th or 7th. Like, 63 points this year could put you in 3rd. So we're not asking a lot. It was only up until about 4 years ago that we'd never been below 60 points in our Premier League history. So we just got to go and get it. But I do agree with Nick. Like, as much as the door is wide open for United now, it would be unforgivable for me not to say what I'm about to say. As much as it's an open door, in some ways, it's letting the Glazers off the hook. Because they probably look at it now and go, we don't need to spend any money, you should get it without it. But to me, that's what a club like Man City would do, is spend to make sure. Whereas I think United will go, well, we don't need to spend, look, you should be able to get it without it. But an ambitious club would spend and go, this is an open door, we're going to make sure. We're not just going to walk in, we're going to blow the bloody doors off. We should be looking at this opportunity and going, it's an open door, but sometimes we've been inconsistent. Let's add a bit of quality and make sure. We won't do that, but I agree with Mick. It's bullshit from the board, again, to not be strengthening at a time where the opportunity is there. So they should, you're right, Nick, makes a great point. I think the opportunity is there and we should take it, but that's not an excuse for the board not to be making a signing or two to make sure, because we should absolutely make sure, really. What's your prediction for tomorrow then, Mark? Says Douglas. Well, if you didn't watch Premier League predictions with me and Robbie, I feel the same as I did against Man City, running up to it. I don't think we'll lose. So I predicted we would beat Man City, actually, on Premier League predictions. I went with a draw. So I think it'll be a draw. Got to bring a player in after tonight's result, says Lee. Well, yeah, it's so true, isn't it? When you sense an opportunity, when your opponent shows weakness, do you just carry on and go, oh, look, they've gone weak, or do you actually kick them when they're down? And that's what buying a player or two would do. I'm extremely interested to know what it is there in the can that doesn't make you fat after drinking so many, says Anik. Mate, it's called a balanced lifestyle. Plenty of exercise. Why don't they splash 60 to 75 million on Baleba now and then Champions League confirmed, says Ben. Yeah, I mean, look, I did the video on Baleba earlier, Ben, and if you read the comments, not everyone's going to agree with you that he's worth 65 to 70 million pounds. I also don't think Baleba guarantees us Champions League football. I actually don't. I saw a compilation of him today that I think was put out because it was meant to be a good compilation. I thought it was a bang average compilation, to be honest with you. I don't actually think Baleba is the player I would bring in to guarantee Champions League football. But look, at least it would be bringing something in. Finishing Champions League this season will be the difference of a difficult next 5 years or an absolute recovery over what we have been through. They must get us top 4, says Hyans. Even though we have been shite this season, we have to get top 4. Players in January would be the obvious thing to do, but our board are idiots. It's amazing how many people are talking about this, by the way. United should buy Scott over Baleba with Stiller, says Rajaf. And Mark has a Westlife-esque hair dropping out. I have this hair every day for about the last 10 years, I am. Mark, is it crazy to say Ahmad is better than Saka? Yes, because he's not, St. Blanco. And I hope you're well and had a good day, Mark. Thank you very much, Daniel Thompson. He says, this is a golden ticket. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory settings to get top 4 Losing huge chance we must take. I mean, look, the worst thing in the world is I could sit here and say, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I won't do that. I won't do that. That is the sort of thing that gets you clipped up and makes you look an idiot. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to do it. By all means you can. I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is this is an unforgivable opportunity if we don't take it. I would expect Liverpool and Chelsea and Newcastle all to have another 5 points, at least. And I think that's when you look at that league table, I would expect Liverpool, Chelsea and Newcastle to have at least another 5 points, which shows they're all underperforming. And if Liverpool had another 5 points, then they'd be 6 points clear of us. Chelsea would be 4 points ahead of us, and Newcastle would be a couple of points ahead of us. And that's where I would expect them to be based on their squads. So they're all underachieving. And whilst we've underachieved, I would still expect, even if we'd achieved, they would have another 5 points than us because they're better. So the fact that we've underachieved and they've underachieved is a golden ticket. It really is. I never would have thought this. Never. If you'd have said to me we'd have the season we've had and still be touching distance of 4th place, I'd have gone, what the hell? I can't even figure out how that would happen. So if we miss out on this opportunity, we're idiots, really. And I think there will be a lot of, let's say we don't do it, there'll be a lot of scrutiny on it, and ultimately that scrutiny will go back to the board, yes. So they should be doing more than just sacking a manager. They should be backing the interim with players to make sure that we get it. I think Ahmad is a fantastic player, T, but I was asked, is Ahmad better than Saka? And he's not. He's not. He can be, but he's not at the moment. There's nothing wrong with being honest. Like, Ahmad's a fantastic player. I think he's brilliant. I love Ahmad. I don't get why people criticise him, but he's not. He's just simply not better than Saka at this moment. Saka's had an amazing last few years at Arsenal, and he's a fundamental part of a team that's top of the Champions League table and top of the Premier League. There's nothing wrong with Ahmad not being better than Saka. In fact, if you think he is, I think you're a bit of an immature little child. Like, in life, some people will be better than you, but Ahmad's on a different trajectory. He's on a different... In 3 years' time, he might be better than Saka, and that's what I hope. I'm very, very happy with Ahmad, but he's not better than Saka. It's just not, in my opinion. We've beaten teams over the years that are miles better than Arsenal. No excuses. Has to be a win. Look, in relation to the game tomorrow, as I said in the preview, I think if we defend deep and counter, we've got a great chance. Definitely. Mbeumo's a game changer. I called it here, says John. And I get Arsenal are a good team compared to us, but Liverpool result makes tomorrow huge. We have something to play for and shouldn't write it off as a game we're expected to lose and hope we pick up points later. 1 inch wonder, absolutely. Talking about the game tomorrow, I think that how many times... I actually haven't seen a United fan who's written us off anyway. The exciting and positive thing is I actually haven't seen a United fan in this community or online say we've got no chance tomorrow. I haven't. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans saying, I don't know why you're being so confident. But in the main, I think a lot of United fans are actually, we're not being arrogant, but we're optimistic. And most of that optimism, I think, is based on the fact that the way we played against Man City may not be the most attractive, but it's effective. If we can play deep and compact and counter, then that's the best way to play against a team like Arsenal and Man City, and it gives us a chance. Secondary to that, every time United supposedly are going to get beat by a big team, we turn up. Opening game of the season, everyone expected Arsenal to beat us, and actually, I remember Robbie saying this to me the other week. He said there's 2 games Arsenal have played this season where he felt they were a little bit lucky to get a win. One was Wolves, and one was Man United at Old Trafford on the opening day. So we definitely did play well against them on the opening day. We beat Chelsea. We beat Liverpool at Anfield. So these are not the games that United tend to have problems with. All right, we went to the Etihad and we got absolutely pounded. It can happen. But statistically, we tend to turn up for these types of games. And that precedes Amorim, Ten Hag, Ollie, Mourinho, Van Gaal. This has been going on for a decade. When we get written off in the big games, the light switch gets turned on. There's something about this dressing room that and it's been going on for a decade and it's passed through the generations. They're really shit in certain types of games, but the big games, they do tend to turn up. So there's a lot to be optimistic about tomorrow. Look, we're playing a very good team. Defensively, they are absolutely watertight. But the pressure's on them. Man City winning today, I don't want Man City to win the league, but Man City winning today is perfect because they're 4 points off Arsenal. And Arsenal have drawn their last 2. Arsenal cannot draw 3 games in a row. You can't take 3 points from 9 in a title race. They've got to beat us tomorrow. They're not like 10 points clear at the top and a point's okay. They're 4 points clear. They've drawn their last 2. They need to win. And that circumstance could help us out because we're not necessarily going to be easy to beat with a compact, deep line, you know? So look, looking forward to it. Agree, but you think these Europa bottlers can do it, says Jacob. And we'll get top 6. After last season, the only way was up. Top 4 is the promised land, says the Moose One. Thank you very much for your super chat. Every single time we're near top 4, we bottle it, says Andre. Yeah, but look, the good thing about the results today is that even if we got beat tomorrow, or even if we draw, well, I think we get beat tomorrow, that's not necessarily a good thing. I don't want to say it's fine to lose. I'm not saying that. But even if we drew tomorrow, we would be level on points with Liverpool, which means we've took 4 points from Man City and Arsenal, and they've took 1 point from Burnley and Bournemouth. Psychologically, there's a shift. There is a shift. I mean, we have still got some difficult games to play. We've got to go to Stamford Bridge. We've got to go to Sunderland. We've got to go to St. James's Park. You know, we have still got some tough games. Having said that, we have also got ourselves in a position where I think that I look at everybody. I mean, I'm sort of deducting people at the moment. I'm not deducting Chelsea. I think Chelsea worry me a little bit because they've got a good run of fixtures and you don't know how they're going to respond to Rosignol, and they have got a decent squad. Chelsea worry me a little bit. Obviously, Villa, Man City and Arsenal at the moment, we can't even bring them into the equation. Hopefully we can in the future. But I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe Chelsea do get 4th. Maybe we get 4th. But surely we get 5th if Chelsea get 4th anyway. I think Liverpool, I look at their bench, I look at Salah, I look at their games they've got to play. Their next 3 games are tough. Man City, Newcastle and Sunderland away. They've got the Champions League to play in. Their bench is shit. They're not scoring enough goals. Isak's not going to be back until April. I look at Liverpool, I don't see it getting any better. I think we're on the road to Slot being sacked. So I count them out virtually. Newcastle, I don't think they've got the squad for the Champions League and the Premier League. And with the best will in the world, Fulham, Brentford, Sunderland, Brighton, forget it. So that's why I'm excited tonight. I'm sort of looking at it and going, if Liverpool are out of it, or on the way of being out of it, it really just leaves us and Chelsea for 4th and 5th. And maybe Villa will drop out. So, look, I'm not saying we're going to be worthy of it in relation to how we've played. I'm saying that as long as we sort of, we can afford to probably lose 3 or 4 more games and still do it. I mean, what are we on? I can't read that. What did I say last season? That Newcastle lost 11 games and got 5th place? We've lost 5. So, you know, we've lost 5. Chelsea have lost 6. Newcastle have lost 7. We've got a great opportunity. And look, people talk about Amrim's win ratio, but 5 losses in the first half of the season, if you double that, that's 10 losses. That's still less than what Newcastle got for 5th last year. The trajectory is looking good. And I'm not one for stats, but it is. Dayan says, after 22 games, I'm surprised that the top 4 or 5 hasn't pulled away. There's 3 points that separate us and 12th. We cannot bottle it, says Dayan. Look, I genuinely think if we could just win 3 games in a row, we'd move. I mean, all Aston Villa have done, to be honest. I mean, I know loads of Villa fans, and they're loving it, but you speak to them and they go, look, we've had a good season, but we've not actually been that good. Like, they're sort of surprised that they're so clear in third. Like, they're having a good season, but they're the same. They're like, we would have thought that we'd be like, still sort of fighting for fourth and fifth. They're in a very good position at the moment because they've gone and won a few games. All the pressure is on Arsenal. I'm very confident we'll win, says Wayne. They play wide open with a very high line. We have the attackers to take advantage, says Wayne. I don't think Arsenal played wide open. I don't know whether you've been watching Arsenal, Wayne. They don't play wide open. They don't play wide open. They don't. Like, they really don't. Like, they don't. They play quite pragmatic, Arsenal. They don't move the ball quickly. I think it's one of the reasons they don't utilise Gyökeres to the best of his ability. They're quite pragmatic, Arsenal. They don't play high up. They don't leave themselves open. They have many games where they don't even concede a shot. So, look, defensively, Arsenal are very, very good. However, if we play deep and compact and we defend set piece as well, I think we've got a great chance of maybe a 1-0 or a 1-1 or a 0-0. Imagine if this time tomorrow we have 6 points from City and Arsenal. Here's hoping we can make that happen, says 1 Inch Wonder. Well, you've got to dream the dream, haven't you? We've got to be 100% focused. And if you can't take confidence from beating City and what's happened with Liverpool, then we never will. But it's a great opportunity. I mean, it's a great opportunity anyway, but tomorrow is. If our next manager, MUFC V6B says, if our next manager decides to keep Rashford or Sancho as a winger, would you support the decision? Please don't be toxic. Well, one man's opinion is another man's toxicity, isn't it? I would not use Jadon Sancho at Man United. I think his mentality stinks, and I don't want him back. And I don't think we should go back to Rashford either. I think it would end badly, and I don't think he should want to come back. So no, for me, it's a no on both. Tim says, great start to the weekend. Hometown Huddersfield win the derby. Liverpool losing. United to win the complete weekend. I've just got to say, on That's Football, I did a watch-along for the Bournemouth-Liverpool game. And there was a comment that said, if Bournemouth beat Liverpool and Man United beat Arsenal, I'm putting my tree back up. And I did say I'd do the same. So we're halfway through the Christmas tree going back up for a week on Monday. Which I don't know whether is bad luck or not, but I almost feel like if we do win tomorrow, the tree's got to go back up for a week. I really do. Cooking with Goldbridge was great. MasterChef Bridge, yeah, thank you for watching it, Daniel. Really appreciate that. Do you think we're going to start Cunha? Austin, you never know with Carrick what he might or might not do. I personally think we should stick with the same team. I think Dorgu's pace is really important. Cunha in the last 20 minutes, half an hour would be good for me. Arsenal are on an 12-game unbeaten run. Look, I think we all want to win tomorrow, don't we? But there's a large part of me that would be over the moon with the draw. Sal Xerxian by Belabus as Victor. If we project the rate of draws in the season remains the same, the season will be in the lowest 5 of all team points total in the Premier League history. I think it probably will. Speak big trouble. Can you call my cousin Ruben a Pratt, please? Says DJB. You're a Pratt, Ruben. Nil says, my worry is that we've been here before a few times. Whenever we've had the opportunity to break further into the top 4, we waste it. Here's hoping we can get a win tomorrow. But I also think as well, the longer the season goes on, and this is just a theory, it doesn't mean it will be true. You know, like every game's meant to be a cup final for us because we're only playing 40 games. And up until now, playing less games actually hasn't helped us. Surely the longer the season goes on, that's going to start to help. Because when we're playing game 31, 32, 33, a lot of the top 6 will be playing game 52, 50. A lot of players will have played 20 games more than us in the last few games of the season. So surely that starts to have an impact as well. Hi Mark, would you take Palmer and Anderson if we get rid of Bruno? Jack, what? Cole Palmer and Elliot Anderson for Bruno? If Bruno wants to go, yes. I'm not selling Bruno if he's playing at number 10. Sakin says, I deserve a shout out for my idea of the loser having to wear a United Arsenal kit at the just hope it's Robbie. Was that your idea, Sakin? Well, you can have a shout out then. I feel like the title should be top 4 is ours to lose. We all know that the Glazers will gamble with this and hope they can get Champions League without spending, says Sam. Fair point. And Ayu says, here we go. I wish I'd said this at the start. I knew there'd be one. Ayu says, if Carrick finishes in top 4 without any losses, team performs good, and Bruno stays, would you like it if he gets a 2-year contract? I don't want Michael Carrick to get a contract. I'm sorry. I really don't. I don't. I don't want to go there tonight either. That's a conversation for April anyway, but I'm not having it in January. In January and February and March, I don't want Carrick to get the job. Ask me in April. I think that's fair. I've not said definitively don't give him the job ever, 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 but I don't want the conversation in January, February and March because it's just Ollie all over again. Let's see where we are in April with a good 10 games of evidence. But I'll still say it. Giving Michael Carrick the job with Steve Holland, Jonathan Woodgate and Johnny Evans as his coaching staff is massively uninspiring. Whether they win 10 games in a row or not, it's still massively uninspiring when you've got Luis Enrique, Conte, Nagelsmann, Tuchel, so many managers available in the summer, and you're going to give me that. I find that really uninspiring. But look, there might be a point where it's a decision to make. Not really a Saturday night, but Burnman not backed by Sir Jim and Glazers, says Brad. What does that mean? And Steve says, after 23 rounds last year, fourth place was 41 points. If they play with the same energy as they did against City, they should get top 4, says Steve. And Point of View Match Day says, hi Mark, me again, but this time for my fellow Reds. You and the beloved community are more than welcome to watch my debut Match Day Point of View video of the Manchester Derby. Enjoy and up the Reds tomorrow. There you go. Check out POV Match Day on their YouTube channel. Got to bring in a player after tonight's result, says Lee Bickerton. And don't even think Wilcox has the intelligence to walk through any door, says I am. I've done that one from Anik. Thank you very much. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well, says Tom McBride. And you too, sir. I've started seeing a girl whose name is genuinely Cole Palmer. Is it a sign? I hope you're all having a good weekend. Tom, it doesn't matter how attractive that girl is. That would be a real problem for me. Psychologically, that would be a head mess. You know, I don't have the best eyesight anyway, but, you know, in the dark, I think the brain would play tricks. Look, as I say, for Tom might be the best 10 on 10, but I'd have a problem with that. She's got to get her name changed. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Cole, can Cole be a woman's name as well? Palmer can. Patsy Palmer. Cole? I don't know. No, I don't think I've ever... Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder was Tom Cruise, wasn't it? Look, these days you can't even say that. Is it a girl's name? Of course it can. Brad could be a girl's name. Karen could be a boy's name. Ian could be a girl's name. And Jennifer could be a boy's name. You know, you're not allowed to do that anymore, are you? Hi, Mark. Anyway, is Dorgu the new Bale? Here we go, John. Why don't you just give Carrick the job as well? I think Arsenal are close to winning the league. Realisation wobble. We should really take advantage while our confidence is high, says Nick. Look, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. I'm saying that league table, what's happened to Liverpool again. You know, Liverpool have taken 4 points in their last 15 as well. 4 points from 15. They've drawn to Leeds, Fulham, Burnley, Arsenal and lost to Bournemouth. That form is shite. We've got to take advantage of it. I'm not walking into Arsenal and saying we've got to win Arsenal. That's silly. Like, if we were 3 points off fourth and it was the last game of the season and we needed to win to get top 4, you might go, we've got to go and do it, but it'd still be really difficult. What I'm saying is, in the context of the wider league table and what's happening to other clubs, the opportunity has to be grabbed. Would you bring me back in the summer, says Prattman? He ain't never coming back. Would love to see you say Happy Christmas in January, says one and only. And David says, if we had Ruben right now, do you think we would capitalise and get top 4? I think we would have. Look, Ruben's gone. He got sacked for falling out with Wilcox. Nothing to do with the results. I think... I said it. I think Amrin would have got top 6. I think he would have got top 6. I don't know. It might have been 6th in Europa League. It might have been 5th in the Champions League. It might have been 4th in the Champions League. But I think he would have got top 6. I think we absolutely have to get top 6. And I think we've got a great chance of top 5. And I want the Champions League. I don't want Emmerdale Cup. I honestly believe we will win tomorrow, says the MUFC one. Can't help it. Always optimistic. Arsenal have more to lose than we do. They'll be afraid to make mistakes. We have to defend free kicks and corners. Cunha and Bam and Mbeumo can lead. I love the confidence. I asked the question because Carrick said he's taking part in the future signing plan. Maybe that was the Glinios not official deal with Carrick. If you give us top 4 with a good run, you get the job, says Ayus. Yeah, I mean, look, they'll love to give him the job because he's cheap. I mean, I would say recruiting Carrick and his coaches will cost the club about a quarter of what it will cost to bring a proper manager in. I'm not joking. Like, if you bring in a new manager, they'll be expensive and they'll have their own coaching setup and they'll want their own players. If you give the job to Carrick, he'll cost hardly anything. And he'll probably say, I don't really need anything. I'm so grateful for the job. It's Ollie all over again. So it will be a massive... I think they will give the job to Carrick. I said that as soon as we went for an interim. I think they will give it to him. But now's not the time to talk about that. There'll be a lot of fans that want Carrick to get the job because they like him. I like Carrick. But it's brilliant for the club. It's cheap for the club. And they'll go for cheap. Cheers from the US. If we end up in Europe, would squad depth not be a problem? I doubt Glinios buy enough quality players to change everything, says Mason. I mean, again, Mason, I think that's a chat for another day, but I think you are right. This squad is not prepared for Europe. And next season, you know, you could easily be Newcastle just because you get in Europe. I think there is this feeling that if you get Europe, everything's fine. But look at Newcastle. They're in Europe and they're 9th. Look at Spurs. They're in Europe and no one can find them. Hello, Tottenham. Where are you? We've lost Tottenham. Man overboard. Where are they? Get the life vests out. We can't see them. Where are you? You know, we don't know where Tottenham are. But they're in Europe this year. They're not going to be there next year. Look at Newcastle. As things stand, you're not in Europe next year. So you do make a good point, but we've got to get there first. But if we get into Europe... there's no guarantee that we get in the top 5 next year. Newcastle without Europe would be strong. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City aren't going anywhere. What about Villa? So you're right. Look, even if we get into Europe, you've got to go and then spend. But how many times... I keep asking this question. Let me ask it, okay. How many times... somebody probably knows this. Slow typer tonight. How many times have Man United finished in the top 4 since Sir Alex retired? Since Sir Alex Ferguson retired at the end of the 13 season, Man United has finished in the top 4 5 times. The full picture is this. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seasons since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. Season 1, 7th. Season 2, 4th. Season 3, 5th. Season 4, 6th. Season 5, 2nd. Season 6, 6th. Season 7th, 3rd. Season 8th, 2nd. Season 9th, 6th. Season 10th, 3rd. Season 11th, 8th, and season 12th, 15th. So in the 12 seasons since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, we've finished in the... I mean, this is bloody terrible. This is absolutely terrible. So you're telling me we finished in the top 4 5 times in 12 seasons since Sir Alex Ferguson retired? How have the Glazers still in charge? That is remarkably shit. I didn't even know it was that bad. 5 times in 12 seasons we've been in the top 4. Fucking hell. It's stats like that that need to hang in the Louvre, because that is... I didn't realise that. At worst, I would have said half and half. But it's not even 50%. It's less than 50%. 5 times in 12 seasons we've not been in the top 4. So yeah, you make a good point. Even if we do get into the Champions League, we probably won't be in it next year. Because that's the glaze away, isn't it? You get in and then you drop off. Is there any truth Steve Clarke being manager after the World Cup? I've never heard anything about that, Scollins, and I think you're Scottish, and I think you're winding us up. Quick question, will we win the Champions League this decade? No, Luke. Hi, Mark, hope you're doing well. You're looking good tonight. I know it's early to talk about managers, but do you think Tuchel is the one to go for, says Isaac? I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy with Tuchel, Isaac, no. Which United player scores tomorrow? If we're going to predict a goal scorer tomorrow... Mbermo, yeah. Mason Moore, I just want to say your comment started all that, so I'm going to give you comment of the evening. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm off to watch a film. I was only meant to do half an hour. Just shows you how good you all are. Fantastic show tonight. How many times we got top 4 under Sir Alex? Probably always. Must be always. I guarantee he didn't finish out the top 4 once. 1 Inch Wonder says we've still got an honour to come back from loan. Absolute legends tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the channel as always. I'm on the 10 o'clock show tomorrow, 10 a.m. Yeah, it's a live 10 o'clock show tomorrow, new show. I actually got some transfer stuff, but I just couldn't be asked to talk about it tonight. So we'll talk about it on the news show. So I'll be live with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And then, what an afternoon I've got tomorrow. Like Seb always plays Sunday morning. It's a Sunday morning league. And tomorrow's game's at 2 o'clock. And it's away. It's about half an hour away. So I'm like, that game needs to kick off at 2 because I'm live at 4 for United. So, and I can't miss Seb playing. I love watching his team. So, yeah, I will be live with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow, but hopefully I'll be live with you again at 4. See you then. I won't be live at 10:30. We'll be live at 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Stay safe. What film are you watching? Oh, yeah, I would love to tell you the film I'm going to watch. In fact, I will tell you the film I'm going to watch, and then I'm just going to go off line. Right, I've got to do this quick. I never do this. This is a risk. The film I'm going to watch is called... Get ready to turn it all off. I'm going to watch a film on Netflix called The Rip. See you later. Bye.